What's up, guys? It's the Cheapster here, and today I'm going to be talking about one rule to make you rich. Now, this is not any kind of scam. Don't worry, this is not a network marketing pyramid scheme, anything like that. This is not what that is. I know this is what it sounds like because a lot of people use that for like their pyramid schemes and stuff. There's one simple way to make you rich and stuff, but that's not what this is. And this is something that every rich person uses. It's definitely at the front of their minds. It's a way that they can gain more wealth in ways. It's a rule that they live by that really helps them to step out of the crowd and help them to keep their money and make more money. And that is thinking about opportunity cost. Now, if you've never heard of opportunity cost, what that basically means is it's thinking about the decisions you make in one way that alter what other decisions you could have made. So this could be something like, okay, well, today maybe you ate a fried chicken and you could have had a salad. So what are the opportunity costs of that? Well, if you ate the salad, you may have more energy through the day. You could have got more done. And it's just going to change a lot of the things that you make decisions about. So that's pretty much what opportunity costs are. So, and actually another good example is something that I actually experienced. I knew what opportunity costs were, but my wife was actually reading a book while we were in Mexico. We were actually at an all-inclusive resort in Mexico, which was amazing. But she was reading this book, and it was talking about opportunity costs, and it actually said in the book, while we're sitting there on the beach, that opportunity costs could be, you hire a maid for the entire year, or you can save that money and go to an all-inclusive resort in Mexico. So that was pretty hilarious because we were literally sitting there reading the book while we're at an all-inclusive resort in Mexico. And I had made so many decisions that year that were opportunity costs to give us the chance to go to Mexico. Like, we lived in New York City at the time, and we had to travel for holidays and different things like that. And normally what people would do is they would just take an airplane. Well, I'm not a normal person, and I knew that that was going to cost a lot more to do that. So usually what I did was I took a mega bus or a Greyhound, or there was even this one bus that was like mostly a Chinese people bus. Like, there was all Chinese people and me, but it went from like Nashville to New York. It was really strange, but hey, it was actually probably one of the nicest buses I took, and it was really fast, and it got there quickly, and it wasn't expensive. So it's just kind of weighing those costs. So that was something that I was able to do because I used all those opportunity costs to say, instead of flying and spending the extra money, I'm just going to save it and take the bus. And that really did, it added up quite a bit. Like, it was a lot of money at the end when I looked at how many flights I would have had to take in and how much the bus actually saved me. So that's really just the concept of opportunity cost, is weighing those things, seeing ways that you can save your money instead of spending it on certain things so that you can spend it on the other things that are more important. And I'd say opportunity costs come into play so many more ways than just finances. Like I said before with the fried chicken or the salad, it comes into play with your finances, obviously, but it can also come into play with like your time. And that's maybe like, you've got a broken toilet or something, and you don't really have much experience with that. So it may take you like 3-4 hours to deal with that. Or you could just pay somebody to come fix it. Maybe it's like a $50 repair. And maybe in that 3-4 hours, you could have made like $150 instead of working on your toilet. Sometimes people have the flexibility to work more. So figuring out those opportunity costs can really help with that, because you're able to use your time more efficiently. And that can also be with your work too. How you work, where you work, how much you work. There's so many of those things that just come into play with that. And this can even come into play with love. I mean, this can be like who you love, how you love them. I mean, these are all just things that you're probably already doing in your mind already. It's kind of weighing the costs of things. But it's something that if you haven't actually thought about like what that means, and really begun to like make kind of rules, I guess, for what you think is more important and learning that stuff, then you're really kind of missing out on what you can kind of become and how efficient you can be in your day-to-day, because the goal of opportunity cost is really just to become more efficient. It's really about not wasting your time in certain areas or wasting your money, or whatever it is. It's about like finding those ways that you can use your time, your money, your energy, all that stuff more efficiently towards something that's going to give you the product of what you really want in the first place. So that's kind of the whole point of it. So how does this make you rich? Well, becoming efficient in spending and saving, that's going to make you rich. That's really the formula for becoming rich. It really isn't super difficult. It's just, if you can figure out how to become efficient with your spending and your saving to make wealth, then you should be able to become rich. Of course, that's kind of making it so simple, but it also has to do with hard work and stuff. You can't be a lazy person. So you've got to be able to work hard, but if you can just learn to deal with your opportunity cost and save, find the things that are better savings, or find the things that are less things that you need to spend on. So that could be something like, maybe you want like a $50,000 car, but the return on that is really just not as important, because if you got a $10,000 car, maybe it would give you about the same thing, gets you from point A to point B. Maybe it doesn't make you look as cool driving it, but if those are the kind of things that you need to weigh your opportunity cost about, how important is it to you to look cool driving your car? Is it really worth giving away some of your financial future to be able to have that car? These are questions that a lot of people kind of gloss over and don't ask themselves, and it's really just important to make sure that you pay attention to those things. And this thinking can really just improve your life in so many different areas. Like I said, not just finances, it could be health. Like I said, with the fried chicken and the salad, there's so many different ways that you can decide different things that will give you the outcome that you're looking for. So just really staying focused on that. But you do want to make sure that you don't let it take over in some ways, because you don't want to get so caught up in opportunity costs that that's the only thing you care about, because then you're just going to be so focused on that. And some things just aren't about opportunity costs. Sometimes it's not really about like what you get out of it, because that's kind of just a selfish way to look at it. So maybe helping out at like a food pantry or something, the opportunity cost would probably say that you're going to be spending your time and getting no return, so why would you do that? And that's just not always the way you want to think about things. Sometimes things are about other people, it's not just about you. And I'd say that's why the rich kind of become greedy sometimes, because they've got this opportunity cost thing down so well that they can just think about their lives and what's going to improve them on a day-to-day. But then sometimes they get so lost in that and they get selfish just thinking about themselves, and they kind of forget it's not just about them, it's about doing for other people too. So that's something to just watch out for. It's a pitfall of dealing with opportunity costs. Make sure you're not getting caught up in that, getting greedy, getting selfish. It can be a really easy thing to do if that's all you're focused on. So just make sure you're aware of that. Don't get caught up in it. And then also with opportunity costs, this is also kind of part of that. You need to learn what the best opportunity costs are, because you can't just start off today and say, okay, well, doing this is my best opportunity cost compared to this, if you don't really have an education or knowledge on what it means. I mean, like the example I gave with the car, a $50,000 car versus a $10,000 car. Well, you could take that down to a $10,000 car and like a $200 car. Well, it may seem like, okay, well, it's cheaper to get the $200 car, so that's the better opportunity cost. Maybe not, though, because maybe the $200 car is going to give you a headache, make you miss work, make you pay all these repair costs, and sometimes that might actually be more expensive than just getting the $10,000 car in the end. So it's about knowing that, about understanding and having knowledge about different areas of life, finances, and health. So everything that you gather, more knowledge you gather. I'd say that's why so many of these rich people read so much, because the more you read, the more you understand, the more you're going to be able to effectively use your time and make sure that your opportunities are something that you're truly like taking full advantage of, that you're focusing on those opportunity costs and making sure that you're using them effectively. And I'd say that this really like affects me every single day. I didn't really realize I did this so much in my head, but I started to realize in the past few years that, I really focus a lot on my opportunity cost and what things mean. And that's why I can focus so much on value sometimes, even if it's something so small, like, something really tiny, like 20 cents or something, paying more on something, especially if it's like an online shopping and something's 20 cents somewhere else in the other place. Or it's 20 cents more at one place and cheaper at the other. Well, all it takes is another few clicks to save the 20 cents. And that can seem a little ridiculous sometimes, because it might seem like, oh, well, you're not really saving much in the end. But, it's just the opportunity cost is so driven into my brain now that that's just the way I think. If it takes me, and that's I guess worth it to me to spend an extra 2 minutes to go to a different website to then get it from there, if it's like literally the same thing. But that's just so driven into me to make sure that I focus on those opportunity costs. And I definitely see the pitfalls sometimes where I get so focused on it. And that's why I've given you guys the advice to not get too caught up in those pitfalls. But I think in the end, it has really benefited me in my life to see the opportunity cost and what the best areas to go down are, and how to become more efficient in your life, because it is so easy to become non-efficient in our lives and just kind of become lazy, whether you mean to or not. Sometimes that's just what happens, because especially if you don't know which route you're supposed to take, it's easy to become lazy because you are kind of like, well, I don't even know if spending my energy towards that is really going to matter. So that's why knowledge is so important, figuring those things out and then using opportunity cost to your advantage. That is how the rich become rich, and that's how you can become rich yourself, because if you can learn to master that, then you can have whatever you want. You can pretty much become efficient in anything and get whatever your goals are. So I hope that I was helpful to you guys. I know this has been something that has really been important in my life, and I think it's just a great thing. It's a great concept to catch on to and learn it and keep working on it. I think this is something that people need to work on the rest of their lives. It's kind of like a self-discipline thing. So I hope you guys are inspired to do that. I really hope that this can change your lives and help you guys become rich, because this really can. It can be such a big thing. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this, you can do the cheapest thing you can, and that is to click the like button, and then also subscribe to my channel. I do 2 videos a week, and just on fun things and different ways that you can have opportunity costs to save money. So thank you guys for watching, and remember, stay cheap.
That's cheap. You still haven't subscribed? Oh